Hello and welcome to the Gamer's Tale. My name is Trent Gander. I'll be your dungeon master from the evening, shooting from the frigid north, as which, if you hear any shaking in my voice, that's the reason why. I am joined by Lee the Tech Priest, and this is the first episode of our third season, the first episode on our official channel. Welcome, everyone. It's good to have you here, whoever may be watching this. Tonight we'll be talking about Rogue One, Ghost Recon, and The Last of Us 2, and whatever other weird stuff that we may or may not have come up. Well, The Last of Us 2 has been creating quite a stir, and the one who actually wanted to talk about it, unfortunately, isn't joining us tonight, and that's just really, really sad. So, it seems like an entirely emotional tearjerker that's going to really affect the gaming industry, because this has been a look forward to sequel, because apparently the first one was done so well. The combat was highly praised, and the improved melee weapons and effective long-range weapons were the highlight of many people's days, or so my research indicates. I have high hopes from the trailer for Last of Us 2. It's most likely going to take a very great dystopian look at the future after a zombie-esque apocalypse, and like there's not enough of those shows on now that we need in more video games. But hey, what works works. In other news, the beta for Wildlands, Ghost Recon, started today or yesterday. So if you want in, find the link and sign up, and maybe the gaming gods will bless you. But let's talk about the older Wildlands Ghost Recon games and the current one. What are we going to expect from Ghost Recon? I actually recently, it's like a year or two, got some of the classic Ghost Recon games for my PlayStation 2, and first try, I must admit, the graphics, even for me, who's stuck in the 90s, kind of sucked. I didn't really like how choppy it was compared to some of the other games that I played. But I enjoyed the combat nonetheless. It was just took a second chance. Lee, I know, has something to say about this because he's been around this a lot longer than I have.
So first and foremost, I'll put it out there. Even if it was horrible, I would be buying it and playing it. That's just because I'm a filthy addict, and
admittedly, looking at some of the games, I understand why. They had really great mechanics, and one of the first really, from my view, really destructible environment built in to their games.
To be honest, for me, a lot of it is, very, very much oriented to the fact that they knew what they were putting out. They were putting out a pseudo-realistic game to appeal to that crowd back when the market for that was not huge. As they advanced over the years, they went through the Michael Bay phase, where everything explodes and it's super pretty and all that shit. But having played the last Ghost Recon, and I can't for the life of me remember the name of it because super fan fail. The gameplay worked really well. The manner with which they presented multiplayer, it was all objective based. The single player was absolutely phenomenal and very seamless with the integration of multiplayer with people through the campaign. Needless to say, it's a series I really do like and I'm really excited for.
Okay, so I came in on, for lack of a better term, milsim games, a really closer to accurate milsim game other than like Medal of Honor, with SOCOM Combined Assault.
And because I was not a PlayStation gamer, SOCOM was always the series that I wanted and couldn't have. So, yeah, Ghost Recon filled that role for me.
Okay, so which came first in the well thought out integration of squad dynamics and squad control for the video games? Was it Ghost Recon or was it SOCOM's earlier incarnations?
They both worked different parts at the same time. You know, as you're talking about the intelligence of your AI buddies, they both sucked for years and years and years. They both, right around the same time, started offering the what was the totally cool, awesome, like Xbox, that original Xbox feature of, oh, you can give voice commands to your team.
I have an
Uh,
actual SOCOM headset that my cousin had, and I ended up getting that has the USB port
yeah, yeah.
for it, and it's like it kind of works still. It's very finicky, but it's like okay. I hate when I'm very quiet when I game, and I hate having to like shout into the mic these seemingly random words to get specific action. If you say it wrong or you don't know the exact one that you're looking for, you get what was that? Or some sort of the guy throws a frag grenade at your feet when you wanted him to watch some guy over there. It's like why AI? Why have you killed me?
And that's one of those things. There is no context. You know, there is no things that you and I can say in conversation, and even if we don't say it perfectly, the gist is understood. And that's really where the voice commands were lacking. But anyways, you know,
But that's the difference between AI and human players. That's always probably what it's going to be like until we reach, meta stability within the AI spectrum.
the and it's one of those things that you know, they both went up this path to very ambitious games. You know, they both tried to do the open world before open world was really a thing. You know, you're talking about these giant maps.
Comparatively.
I even by today's standards, you know, while they don't quite compare to Battlefield, um, you know, it just absurd amounts of room.
Yeah, you could just
Um,
keep going out and out. They had that similar thing with Halo Combat Evolved, where they had isn't that like defined as like the best first person shooter that actually started the first person shooter genre?
yeah, and so Ghost Recon and SOCOM were both third person, you know, shooters.
The first
Um,
person kind of sucked in Combined Assault, I must admit.
the first person kind of sucked in all of them. You know, you're left with no context. You've just got a reticle, and you know, oh hey, do work.
Yeah, you get that, and especially in the night missions where it's like, I now have a green background reticle, and I kind of have to work with this. Otherwise, I'm carrying something that's the size of a paper towel tube that weighs my gun down and me down to a fantastic degree to get thermal imaging, and it's like, okay, my like anyone who's nowhere near fluent in SOCOM Combined Assault or any of the series can pretty much guess when they read some of the descriptions that it's going to be a fast, sneaky game. Otherwise, you pay the price very quickly. So having a crap load of stuff that weighs you down kind of it goes against what most people are going to start using a lot once they get used to the game.
And to a large extent, you know, I think it's a good time to revisit what Ghost Recon so ambitiously aimed for, you know, circa 2006, which is that very large scale map, tackle the problem in the way you want. Um, if they maintain the gunplay from the previous generations, I think they're going to be in for a really, really big win here.
And for those of us who haven't actually played Ghost Recon in the later generations, what was that gunplay?
It was very cover oriented. It was very, very oriented to, you know, ye shall use cover. The light machine gun and suppression rolls were phenomenal, simply because they took into account the fact that light machine gun shooting at your cover, your character was forced away from it. Lightly destructible environments, it didn't give the, oh, hey, this is a game map feel to it as much as other games, but it was very obviously tailored towards, the multiplayer team on team. Couple in the fact that every gun was completely customizable, rate of fire, the whole nine. And it just became a very well-balanced shooter.
Those are the two things that I like the most. Being able to customize my stuff to the way I like it, and being able to shoot through chain link fences and not have my bullets bounce off.
Yeah, accurate. Very, very accurate.
There are holes in this thing. I should be able to shoot through it.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that I'm excited to see the way that they tackle a lot of this, because the open world is in a lot of ways just not functioning well anymore. Especially from the shooter perspective, because you start running into issues where, oh hey, I ran across the map for 10 minutes and I got shot in the face.
That's going to take up a lot of. That's probably going to be if it's like that, it's going to be a result of a lot of rage quits, because I'm spending all this time to get to the perfect spot only to be removed in 2 seconds. And then I have to do it all over again. Yeah.
And if they can solve the, for lack of a better way to put it, the battlefield dilemma of spawn, die, run for 10 minutes, see somebody die, I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Run for 10 minutes, see nobody, and die.
Yeah, accurate.
I must say, one of my favorite things that people have added in was the ability to, when I was playing Call of Duty, was to, even just as rare modifier, to get to be able to shoot through walls, because that added so much more versatility for me, and it helped it out a lot, because you could be just a little bit lazier or more tactical depending on what your view of it. And I hate it. I still hate, to this day, not being able to shoot directly through walls. I'm glad gaming has gotten to the point where that is considered the norm outside of Call of Duty.
The issue is, as always, balancing gameplay. Case in point, playing Rainbow Six earlier today, and we're hung up at an objective, not even at an objective, trying to breach into the building. And I do the, fuck this, we've spent a minute here trying to get in the building, I'm gonna go around the side, like I don't need to sit here for no reason. And I'm running along the side and I get shot in the head through a wall. Yeah, one of those complete freak, like they knew we were moving, he was trying to pop a shoot hole in the outer wall, and instead he shot me in the face.
Have you seen the video where it's like some guy shoots, I don't forget, it's like a breaching charge or something, into the house, and it just goes through the guy's murder hole and hits him in the face? You not seen that video?
Yeah, that's a fairly normal occurrence for me. Like 97% of my deaths are getting shot in the face because, I suck and I need to be reminded of that regularly.
So in other words, saying that if I ever play Rainbow Six Siege with you, I should be far away in order to not catch flag.
Yeah, I get shot in the face a lot. It makes me cry.
Best
Um,
things.
but no, you know, um, balancing that stuff I think is hard, and I think it's only going to get better as time goes by.
Not true. Since my favorite thing is the melee combat, because I love knifing people in video games, because that was my thing. There's probably a spoof cover out for Sony Modern Warfare or Call of Duty Medieval Warfare. It's like this is probably a huge hoax. I wish it was real, but I know that if it was real, the melee combat would suck so badly that it would just make me cry and wish I hadn't bought the game.
And melee combat, like more than shooters, melee combat is really hard to do.
Hmm.
Um,
They did it decently in a passable way for Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King. That was it wasn't realistic, but it sure felt good with mashing all those buttons and then seeing impressive moves eliminating orcs and goblins and all this other crap that keeps coming at you.
yeah, there reaches, as we've talked about before, a point that I'm just okay with hitting the I believe button and carving through the horde of orcs.
Yeah, it's
I,
I don't get me wrong, it's fun, but I like realism for a lot of my stuff, and when we finally get more of the previous episodes up on this channel, you'll be able to see where I'm coming from. But
yeah.
I really dislike it when it's like I look at all these old historical things, and For Honor does a really good job at this. They at least try to make it seem closer to what actually was done back in the days when it was iron and metal or iron and wood against flesh, and it's like this is so cool. And most of the things, like you go boom, 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 he dies, and historically, it's like if you do that, it's gonna bounce off all that metal he's wearing. Otherwise, why are we wearing metal? It makes no sense if that's just gonna right through.
Yeah. Um,
We have now figured out why. One of the reasons why female armor in games has worked so much, because if it can cut through metal, maybe it can't cut through skin.
um, yeah, and that's one of those things, as we've discussed, that oh, it just makes me really sad on the inside.
I've seen some, especially real life and in stuff like Call of Duty. When I seen the blinged out guns, like with the gold plating, everything like on sniper rifles, pistols, and all this stuff. It hurts my soul just a little bit to see that. I'm a very banal gamer when it comes to uh, putting camos, or for lack of a better term, on my gear. It's like if I'm gonna be putting a camo on something, it better be suiting the environment that I'm gonna be fighting. It's not gonna be flaming pink, purple, and whatever else I'm gonna throw up on this thing, because I'm there. For lack of a better term, in game, I'm there to shoot people. I don't want to have this really loud, attention-grabbing thing on my weapon. It does not sit well with me, and
but a lot of that is the streaming community and the people who just want to feel special. I'm past the point of caring about it. It is what it is.
I will admit, making it feel special is really good, especially when all that specialness comes through skill. It's killing all your opponents. Yeah.
So, Star Wars?
Yes, Star Wars Rogue One. Rogue One is coming out next week, I believe it is. I try to stay away from the Star Wars news because I know I'm not going to be able to see it up close and personal within any what considered normal religious time frame, because it took me 1 year, I think it was, before like 6 months before I saw the latest Star Wars movie. When everyone else had seen it like 100 times, it's like, you heathen! You claim you love Star Wars, but you weren't there opening night. It's like, I have other things to do with my money, and I can wait. I can wait you all out.
And again, like the addict I am, I'm actually going a week from now to see it at a very, very, very nice theater. Because I'm an addict and I can quit whenever I want.
And a 60-foot screen you can't fit in your house is much better than the actual TV you have.
Actually, so the theater here that I go to most of the time has full reclining lazy boy seats, full service bar, full service restaurant.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. The
Yeah,
one that we have here in the mall has like theater seats that they recline forward where you sit down, and you got like an inch wide armrest that you share with the other guy. And so while I usually go with my family, so I'm rubbing elbows with them, it's like your privacy is, you're going to be holding when they give you popcorn, because they used to have allow you to bring in as big a container as you want, and they would fill it with popcorn for like $5. And it's like, okay, I'm going to be huddled in my popcorn, eating all this calories, well, all this loud music plays in like these half plastic seats where my butt's going numb, but I don't care because I'm watching a movie and eating popcorn.
yeah, and when I went to see Magnificent Seven, it just kind of struck home because I had two old retirees who would not shut up, talked the entire time, the whole nine. I'm just kind of at the point where I enjoy the experience a lot more if I'm, enjoying where I'm at.
Yeah. This is one of the reasons why I actually don't go out to see movies. I prefer watching them in the comfort of my own home, so I can either talk or shut up as much as I want.
And yeah, there's certain movies that I will absolutely go see in theater, and there's some that I feel like you're missing out if you watched it at home because distractions and all that stuff.
True. I saw episode 3 in theaters. That was the first time I saw it. It was one of the very few times I've actually seen a Star Wars movie in theaters. That was because I actually saw it when it came out, or shortly thereafter. And it was, I will admit, amazing. There was a lot of flashy color and explosions. I was happy.
Priorities,
Priorities. It was impressive. It was the most recent Star Wars movie at that time. It had the best graphics, of course, and the best cinematic mojo, but it still wasn't the quote-unquote first Star Wars.
Yeah.
But so unfortunately, Rogue One is not going to have a sequel. And people are angry about this, and I laugh at them in the privacy of my own head. Because if you're paying attention, you know that the sequel is actually the original trilogy.
You're giving away the secret.
What secret?
No, so it I like the direction they're going with this. I think that this more than the Star Wars that was released a year ago is going to capture what those of us who have been watching it for most of our lives now want from it.
Especially those of us who have read a lot of the novels, because the novels get dark and macabre quite easily, especially depending on the series. And this seems, the rumbles that I heard 2 to 3 months ago, maybe 6 months ago, when it was still warm in the state, was that it's going to be a much darker Star Wars than what theater goers are used to, with Vader capping people by removing their heads from their shoulders.
And to an extent, I'm curious how much Disney is going to make that a reality.
Yeah, all we know for sure is that we have Ep1. We have a guy with a beard, dreadlocks, and a huge blaster. We have some enamoring woman on a boat. A creepy droid that's awesome and I identify heavily with. And the next kind of Han Solo guy to go with her on this boat. To find stuff that we already know what happens at the end, so why are they finding it? Oh, and Death Troopers. You can't forget the Death Troopers.
And I'm really hoping after I don't even know how many how many movies at this point, that the bad guys are actually efficient.
Oh,
Because
this like the first 10 minutes of A New Hope when they ice all the rebels, and then after that they kind of go down.
Well, and that's exactly it. Like the first 10 minutes, they're super effective, super useful. Take Phantom Menace on the Trade Federation ship. Oh yeah, the droids are, like, if not killing but keeping at bay 2 Jedi. That's impressive. They get on the planet and they get, defeated by retarded frogs.
This is one of the reasons why I need to watch the Clone Wars series, the original animated version, and the rest of the Clone Wars series, because they at least have the mildly comical droids, but the original one's brutal as hell. And at least they put up a fight against the meat cans in the Clone Wars, where it's like, will they actually make it out? Of course, we all know they're going to make it out. They're the Jedi, but all the clones that you get a nice attachment to because they aren't the super mystic powered Jedi squad. They're just badass soldiers. The ones that they get capped repeatedly, and it hits you because it's like, but I actually like these guys. These are like kind of normal guys, despite being born in a tank and still being cool. But I will admit, not having seen all of it, they apparently built 2 of the characters that they actually do know well enough, only to kill them off satisfactorily enough to initiate an emotional response from viewers, which is good writing at its best.
And I'm excited to see what they do. I'll put it like that. At this point, they get like 1 or 2 more before I do the okay, I'm out, I'm done. Curious how they play out a lot of this stuff, because it's going to be interesting.
It will be interesting, especially like all the interesting retcons that they're probably going to be pulling in. People who don't know any better wondering, why weren't these like droids and other stuff featured in episode 6? It's because they weren't. No, I'm not dealing with that right now. I'm not going to go full grumpy old man on you for that, because you don't decide to do your research on the historical side of the genre you're looking into. No. But I'm looking forward to a lot of the people I know are looking forward to the darker Star Wars. And I hope they kind of give the side that we expect from the video games and from the books into this movie. If they do, I'm going to make a mild prediction and more of a guess that if Rogue One holds up to the dismemberment standards of some of the video games they have, even the Lego ones, even them, they are probably going to have one of the grossest producing Star Wars movies on their hands, possibly until Episode 8 or 9, whatever it is. Yeah, 8. I had to think there for a bit. I expect this to be an interesting time for Star Wars, especially since they got rid of the extended universe. They got rid of all the stuff that we as fans kind of held dear. And they need to kind of bring that back into play with us. And I think Rogue One is a perfect opportunity for them to do that.
And I'm curious how much, because Disney retconned and then immediately brought a lot of stuff back. Disney retconned and then immediately,
retcon the retcon.
Yeah, so a lot of this is going to come down to how far they want to push it and what they want to do to kind of reutilize a lot of pre-written stuff.
I have a current theory that the latest dreamboat that they pushed out of Disney, which is Kylo Ren, on the dark side at least, I think he is a combination of 3 extended universe characters. I think he's Jason Solo with Ben Skywalker's first name, and he's going to be. I also think he's a combination of a character named Zach, who leads to interesting things for the relationship between Rey and him. Other than that, I think we are probably near the end of what we're talking about for this night's session. And since this is the start of a new season, we probably should keep it short to keep people interested.
Sounds good to me.
So with that, we bid you all adieu. While music plays as lights go down, and we hope to see you next time.